Hi guys, I'm Phil Snowden, the fat loss and performance coach. Kapow, how are we doing? So today's video is all about being ready, and I'm talking about, are you ready for your session? Now, it's obvious that we all want to hit a target, a specific target, and we set ourselves this cool little goal and timeline of how fast we're going to achieve our goal, etc., etc. What we need to do, we design a program, we design our eating regime and better eating habits. But sometimes it can wear us down a little bit, and we can go into the gym not necessarily focused and kind of a bit if you know what I mean, okay? Now, sometimes if you're in that mood reflects motion, okay? So if you're feeling a bit down, groggy and tired, then that's gonna have a massive impact on your tissue alignment, if you like, and your structural alignment as well, leading potentially to more injury, which obviously is gonna hold you back from achieving your goal a lot more, okay, than if you're just going into it, hammering it every time. So there's a couple of questions that you want to be asking yourself and particularly observing as well. So the first question is, how well rested are you? I.e., how much sleep did you get last night? Did you have a good night's sleep? Did you have interrupted sleep? And do you feel really well rested? If you had 8 hours sleep and you wake up still feeling groggy, you still might not be completely rested, even though it's recommended that you have 8 hours sleep. Okay, so bear in mind how you feel when you're awake as well. The next question you want to be asking yourself is, how well have you eaten? I.e., what have you eaten? What was your last meal? If it was something like, I don't know, some Snacker Jacks, some sugary, crappy food with some sandwich or something like that, that's going to have a massive impact, obviously, on our digestive system. It's going to leave increased levels of cortisol, our stress hormone. If we've been sat down for a long period of time as well, it's going to jam up our fascia, and it's all going to have a massive role to play when we go into the gym. Also, you want to be asking yourself, how much water, how well hydrated are you, and how much water have you been consuming? Obviously, if you're a little bit dehydrated, that also is going to affect fascia, which is a connective tissue which effectively holds or connects our muscles, if you like, throughout the body. Now, if you're really dehydrated, that fascia kind of become a little bit sticky and very, very taut, and so you'll not be able to move it as well as you might like, again, potentially leading on to injury. The next thing you want to be asking yourself is, what's the most important thing you've got on for the rest of the day? If you've got a really important business meeting, perhaps later on, or you've got to look after the kids, or you've got a long drive or something ridiculous like that, then obviously you don't want to be going into the gym punishing yourself, brutalizing yourself if you've got some other busy tasks to do later on, okay, well, it's going to wipe you out. So there'll be more sort of health or lifestyle questionnaires that you want to be asking yourself, and you possibly want to be rating yourself on like a scale of 1 to 10 on those, all right, 1 being low, 10 being really good, ready to go. The next sort of series of questions then you want to be asking yourself is how you feel physically, all right? What was the last physical activity you engaged in? Like for me, if I do a big leg session or big deadlift squatty type session, the next day I'm wiped out. I'm really hungry, I'm ravenous, I'm continuously eating as well. I'm just feel very, very tired. Now, if you've done a big session the day before, then obviously that's going to have an impact how you feel the next day. You might not be able to put the same output in that as well. Your next sort of question you want to be asking yourself is, are you in any pain? All right, do you feel any pain, any soreness, or do you feel any niggles, tweaks, injuries? Because if you get in, I don't know, a little niggle in the calf and you start going doing bouncy, jumpy stuff, then that's obviously going to have a massive impact on how well you perform, and again, potentially lead to injury, again, potentially holding you back from your exercise and hitting your results further down the line. What Paul Chek does, a pretty famous industry leader, is a little assessment on a stability ball, and he gets his clients just to kneel on it for about 30 seconds or so. Now, this is a very, very basic assessment by all means, but it is a good way of testing to see what your neurological response to movement and exercise is. Like I say, it's a very basic exercise. So simply kneeling on the stability ball, you should be able to do that anyway. If it's a bit more of an advanced exercise, then don't worry about it. But obviously you're going to be timing yourself now for around 30 seconds. If you find that you're falling off the ball more than once, within that 30 seconds, then you probably want to adjust your type of training that you're doing, okay? Now, I'd say that's one of the basic assessments. You could even do like a lunge if you're competent at lunging anyway, lunging forwards, and if you're wobbling all over the place, then you probably want to take it a bit steady. That's based on you being able to do a good lunge anyway. Okay. So guys, the next series of questions then you want to be asking yourself is, how ready do you actually feel? What's your emotional state like? Now, it sounds a bit woo-woo, okay, a bit, oh God, blimey, a bit out there, okay? But actually, if you've just had a row or something with your spouse or your partner, then are you really going to be in the right state to push yourself hard, okay? You're going to be very uptight, you're going to be tensing the muscles, and your neck's going to be all tense anyway. So if you go into doing some squats and you've got a heavy bar on your back and you're already pissed off and stressed out, do you think that you're more likely to injure yourself, or do you think that you're going to be good to go and perform your max? Do you feel really mentally motivated to begin exercise, all right? If again we're using our scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low, 10 being high, are you really, really motivated, or do you feel a bit like, who knows, okay? That's down. It's all objective and subjective, beg your pardon, and they're observation based. Now, if you are feeling quite low and you're feeling that you do need to relax a little bit, well then just do that. You could always do some massage or self-myofascial release, you know, using the foam roller. You could even go get yourself a massage. You might need to kind of refer out if you're getting little niggles. Just go and see an osteopath, see a physio, something like get this sorted early so it doesn't progress and turn into something potentially detrimental later on down the line. You might just need to do some mobility work, something nice and gentle, or even just a little bit of cardio, just jumping on a bike, something senseless where you just can zone out, listen to an audio book, read a paper or something. As long as you're doing kind of something, that might be all you need. Potentially you just might need to just rest and chill out, okay? You just relax, completely chill and zone out. Just listen to some music or something, okay? So guys, just because you're on a bit of a program and you've got a goal to achieve doesn't mean you have to hammer it every day. Sometimes it can be detrimental, particularly for fat loss, all right? And if you're looking to reduce the risk of injury, then you definitely need to chill out a bit. Okay, guys? Hope you found that useful. Keep it real. Speak to you soon.